What's up, people? How's it going? Well, I just sat down to make a video in the bus here. Got the camera set up, focused it, went to hit record, and then I looked out the window, heard a noise, and the neighbor across the street decided to just start up their lawnmower, and which is really weird because they never mow their lawn, and it's actually not even long, it's really short, and so it's just kind of an interesting timing. And I thought, my first thought was, God damn it, it's always something. But instantly that passed on, and I thought, you know, how silly. When I used to make videos outside, I'd get frustrated if, you know, it seems like every time I start making a video there's sirens or something going on. So I ended up making them inside, and people would say, you know, hey, I like your outside videos, and I'd explain to them why it's hard to do that unless I'm in the woods, which I don't get to often enough. So I'm just going to own it. So that, anyway, that's the background lawnmower, if you can hear that. But that's just part of life. Life is about realizing that other people aren't on my schedule. You see, whenever something like that happens, it's a lesson to me to remember that just because I have, you know, an example is we had a drummer for my brother and I. We played in a band, and we had a couple different drummers over the years. And there was this one particular drummer who had a roommate, and his roommate was constantly complaining to the other roommates because they made too much noise during the day with their band practice. And this is at noon, 1 in the afternoon, 2, 3 in the afternoon. And it came to quite a debate between them, because the one guy said basically, hey, this is my schedule. I'm asking you to respect my schedule. And the other 4 or 5 people who worked normal schedules, what you would call normal, they said, hey, I can respect that, but I can't tiptoe around here all day. Well, the other side of that was the guy that worked graveyard. He would have parties at night on his weekends because he was up all night. So, you know, point being that there's so many different lifestyles that we can't get frustrated with other people for the way they live, but we have to live within environments that are suitable. So, in other words, that person who worked graveyard should live near people or with people who also work graveyard. Maybe that would solve some of his problems. Easier said than done. Of course, I'm just pointing out, you know, obviously very general ideas, but I know people, and this especially happens with, like, I've noticed in those who are, I don't like to say old people, and I won't say elderly, just say those who are much older than I am. It seems like the older that we get, the more stuck in our ways and stubborn we become in some ways, and the harder it is to, I should say, we feel like we've earned our place. We've earned our right to say, hey, screw you, I'm going to have my time to myself. And you shouldn't interrupt my time. Let me think if I can define it a better way. As you get older, we become less tolerant, it seems, of things that interfere with our moment or our ability to have fun. So our weekends become so much more important. So if something goes wrong on a weekend, or somebody flakes on us, you know, it's more likely to bother us than when we were kids and say, oh well, screw it, I'll go do something else. And so, but we are constantly interdependent on one another in order for our interactions. So when it comes to, say, a neighbor, that's, you know, you can't hold it against a neighbor for mowing their lawn. Of course, that's not, you know, the guys, I have nothing against the fact that they're mowing their lawn. I just pointed it out as one of those things that I've heard people say, well, let's put it this way. A lot of folks that I've interacted with seem to think that they are the victims in the world. That, well, I went to the store and this happened to me, and I lost my wallet, and I got a flat tire, and damn this world and what it's doing to me, and why are the neighbor kids always making noise, and you know, why does this rock band have to play down the street? You know, I can hear their music on Sunday afternoon when I'm trying to sit out and sip tea on my back porch. And all of these different, you know, problems we have with, you know, neighborhoods or communities, if you will. It's nothing new. Of course, this goes all the way back to, you know, as long as humans have had civilization, as long as we've had what we call civilization, or even small societies where we've had to interact with one another on a different level, and we have to cope with each other's differences, our time, what we find interesting, what we find beautiful. Well, beauty is not necessarily... Beauty is something different that's not just in the eye of the beholder. I just say that because this morning it was actually Kyrgyzat, I'm never going to pronounce that right. It's a show, a YouTube channel, but they had one, a video this morning called What is Beauty? And I've looked at this so many times, this idea of why do we find things beautiful? So I'm not going to go into detail, but yes, there are certain proportions which make things appear more beautiful to a larger amount of people. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but if 100 people find one thing beautiful and one person doesn't, you can safely assume that that thing is generally a beautiful thing to most people. There were always an exception to the rule. Just like the subject I'm talking about here with, dealing with one another, coping with the differences in our neighbors or in our friends and family. There's something I should point out while I'm talking about that. That there is a certain level, a threshold that people cross that is beyond saying, well, this person just wants to live their life the way they want to. When a person's life is directly affecting those around them in a negative way, and many people, then that's when it is time to say, well, I should say you could say whatever you want or do whatever you want about that, but if somebody is doing something that's affecting a lot of people in their community or their family or their friend group, and it's because they have a certain personality trait, or perhaps they're dishonest, or they cheat, whatever it may be, dishonesty, lying, cheating, it's all in the same realm, but those are some of the big ones. We might choose to to not associate with those people any longer. I've chose to abandon a lot of people that I grew up with that are maybe not friends, but those acquaintances that were in my friend group, which I saw them going the wrong way, and I said, well, I don't want to have this person affecting my life negatively, because other people will bring you down. And if you have people in your life that are obviously pulling at your soul and bringing you down, it's much different than just having somebody you might disagree with. So I guess, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that it's okay for us to acknowledge differences in one another, and it's okay to get frustrated when things don't go our way, or when others may not understand what we're saying. In today's world with text messaging and comments, it's so hard to get the inflection and what a person meant in their tone. And with all the misunderstandings I've had with even just good friends and family on just text messages, I can't imagine how many people would mistake a message that I left on a comment on a video, just like people have left comments on my videos that I took as an attack, and I responded something and they're like, wait, that's not what I meant. And so it really is important for us to understand that most people, it seems that a majority of people mean well and don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or impose on other people's lifestyles. They just want to live their own lives. And I think that that's something that's obvious but overlooked. That we're so wrapped up in thinking everybody else cares about what we're doing. That why are these people trying to destroy Christianity? Or why are these people trying to destroy the school system? And these people are trying to kill the monetary system. There are people out there who are, fucking shit up. But it's not a majority. The general, most of the people that I meet, everybody's out to get their own first, but it's a world where we just feel the desire to share with other people. At least I do. And for me, it's about seeing smiles on other people's faces and helping people as much as I can, but still protecting myself and not becoming a guy who gets taken advantage of. And so when it comes to coping with other people, yeah, it's important to accept that other people do things their own way, but shouldn't put up with other people's crap. And if people are putting you down and they are belittling you or playing a power trip on you, that's one of the times when I really don't stand for it, because there's nobody has power over me. I haven't given permission yet, except my wife. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day.